Daniel Korth, as a person who you're from London, is the communist family still exist in London until right now?
What, like just communism as an idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, everywhere in the world, man. Like, even like, don't fucking kill me for saying this. But me, I think personally, in an ideal world, communism could work. But I think I would never choose to have it in the country because it's so easy for politicians to abuse. So the whole idea of communism is that no one has power, like everyone gets the exact same. So that's fair, right, in an ideal world. But whilst there's human greed, it can never work, I don't think.
Do you think in Tanzania we have communism?
No, definitely. I know. I heard the government in Tanzania were introduced as a socialist government back in the day, but I think there's no way that keeps to that in reality.
And do you think if we could have communism here, it could help?
If you could have true communism, yeah, of course. Because the thing is about on planet Earth, there's enough resources for everyone to live comfortably, like with enough housing, water, food. But because the rich take what should be distributed like equally to everyone, that's why the world isn't fair. So that's why I say, in an ideal world where everyone had the exact same, then everyone would live comfortably. But I don't know if we'll ever see that reality.
What kind of life have you choose to have, like out of your traveling life?
Quite not a very typical one. So at the moment I'm living in a local neighborhood in Moshi in Tanzania. And it shows the culture from an inside perspective, and I think I'm lucky to have.
Do you think like you get any trouble, like you as a white person living in the streets, like deep down in Moshi, just the streets?
Quite a lot of trouble, to be honest. But
like, what's the biggest trouble which you hate? Like, okay, when people are telling me this is like the craziest thing which I've ever experienced in my fucking life,
And not everyone, but certain people, maybe if they see you in the street, they'll just talk to you in a way that they would never talk to, like, to be perfectly honest, like, they wouldn't talk to me that way if I wasn't white, I mean, I understand why, because the world is so very segregated, so white people would, like, basically never would like live in a neighborhood like I do, so people are surprised. But at the same time,
do you think anyone can stay anyone? I mean, anyone can stay with anyone we want and anywhere we feels like.
I think you should be able to. It's not possible everywhere, but why not? Because we're all just like humans together on this rock we call planet Earth.
But for the first time, when you had the decision, I want to go and live and stay in the in the bush, in the streets, in the place where people, it's hard to leech. I'm not preach, I'm just teach what you're about to witness. Tell me, for the first time, what did you think? What made you think like, okay, I have to stay out of my zone, I have to stay independent?
Well, so the original reason I came to Tanzania, I was a volunteer for 6 months. For that, I had accommodation as part of the deal in a hostel for 6 months. But sort of because I was here for so long, I started exploring Moshi outside of the volunteering I was doing. So I made local friends. I started seeing sort of aspects of life, places that most tourists probably wouldn't see, which is why I think I'm lucky to have like true local friends.
So you can call yourself, you like to try.
Yeah, definitely. For me, like, what's the point in traveling? Especially if I'm there, I couldn't be somewhere safe.
Yes, you're coming to the point.
Yeah.
So you also in the same mentality, like you think people who are traveling are more people who are learners?
I think they should be, but sadly a lot of tourists, maybe even if they come to Tanzania, they would stay in the expensive hotels, maybe go to nice restaurants, and what I say to them, like, what is the point in going to a new place if you're just gonna live the same lifestyle you're living at home? For me personally, I have to even. It's maybe fair enough if people want to do that.
I'm trying to get you, Mr. Daniel, because I know you have experience. You have stayed here for a while. Like you have been in different places, right? A place where there is a lot of tourists. Yeah. So you think it's not right for tourists to stay in places like that, like in hotels, in the whole?
I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying for me personally, and bear in mind, like, I'm not normal for this, but I could never travel somewhere and only go to the places that have been designed for tourists, because that doesn't show you the real side of a country.
You can learn from those places. Exactly,
because they're showing you what they want to show you, and I've especially something for 6 months. Like, here's another thing: I couldn't stay in a place where I wouldn't feel comfortable walking down the street. And a lot of tourists who come to Tanzania, they're put off by the sort of attention maybe you get as a white person of even walking around. But me, for 6 months, I couldn't fucking feel that restricted, man.
What have you learned from the streets?
So much, like, fuck.
You think a street can be a school which can teach some lessons and stuff?
Definitely, man. You know, the best school is like life. You know, it's like a school where there's no graduation. Everything in life, man. Like, I think. How can you, like, you learn more by experiencing than by sitting in a classroom. Like, for example, me, I've never taken, like, academically the subject, like, maybe social geography, but I feel like I know maybe more than I even would if I'd taken it as a subject, just by being in a different country, about the way.
You want to tell me, like,
it works?
You're a person who it's easy to remember things when you see it. That's how you put a picture of your graphical way, how the earth looks like.
Oh no, I don't mean physical geography. I mean, when I say social geography, I mean it's about community and about cultures and about people.
You're talking about social geography.
Yeah, and I say I've never taken that academically, but I feel like I know quite a lot more than I would from sitting in a classroom and saying, oh, people in this culture do this and that. See, like, I could sit in a classroom and someone would tell me, oh, in the Kilimanjaro region in Tanzania you get a Chaga tribe, and I would forget that straight away.
Okay.
But I'm here and I know it now as a fact because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah, I got you. So I want to know this, like, from you. Maybe you can express it personal, or you can express it as the culture of the people from the West and the people from Europe, maybe in general, like the other world, you know? What do travelers think when they're first traveling to Africa? What pictures they have in their head? Like, what kind of place I'm going to see for a person who's traveling to Africa for the first time?
About me personally?
You can talk it about personal, if you don't know about the culture, you can speak about yourself.
Or, like, just generally speaking, right?
You can choose.
Okay.
But if you can talk about everyone, that's fine. If you can talk about you, that's more fine.
I think the idea of Africa as a place to travel to, I think, man, like, I need to stop shit talking people, but, like,